10 wild facts prove Appalachian forests are unlike anywhere else on Earth. Nighttime landscapes literally glow, and animals and trees you won't find anywhere else appear. Each entry gets more unbelievable. Some of these wonders hide right in your backyard, and most people have no idea they're even there. So what makes these forests truly impossible? Let's start with number 10. Appalachian forests hold a record that surprises even lifelong locals. 158 different species of trees grow here, more than anywhere else in North America. Oak, maple, hickory, tulip poplar, hemlock, and spruce each thrive in these mountains, sometimes side by side. Walk just a mile or two, and the forest changes completely. Lower slopes are thick with hardwoods, while higher ridges turn to spruce and fir. The variety is so extreme that a short hike can feel like crossing hundreds of miles. That's why every bend in the trail looks different, and why these woods are never the same twice. When night falls in these forests, the ground starts to glow. Foxfire, bioluminescent fungi, shines green from rotting logs and stumps. The light comes from a chemical reaction, the same process that makes fireflies blink. Luciferin meets luciferase, and the result is cold, steady light. Some locals say it's bright enough to read by if you find a thick patch on a damp night. Old stories tell of people using foxfire to mark trails or find their way through the woods after dark. Most people walk past without ever noticing, but the glow is there, every night, right under your feet. Every June, the hillsides of the Great Smoky Mountains come alive with a light show that seems impossible. Thousands of synchronous fireflies, Photinus carolinus, flash on and off in perfect rhythm, lighting up the forest in waves. Each flash lasts about half a second, and then, as if on cue, every firefly goes dark. The whole cycle repeats, again and again, for just a few magical nights. Scientists still puzzle over how they sync up so precisely. So many people want to witness this that the National Park Service runs a lottery, millions enter, hoping for a ticket to the show. There's a glow in these mountains that you won't find anywhere else on Earth. Orphelia fultoni, a tiny glowworm, lives only in a few hidden spots. Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina, Dismal's Canyon in Alabama, and Anna Ruby Falls in Georgia. This insect produces the bluest bioluminescence of any creature alive, shining at 470 nanometers, pure electric blue. The glow comes from both ends of its body, lighting up the leaf litter and cave walls on damp nights. People often mistake it for blue ghost fireflies, but it's even rarer. Nowhere else in the world has this exact color or this species. If you see that blue light in the darkness, you're witnessing something that belongs only to the Appalachian forests. No other place on Earth has more salamander species than these forests, over 70, all packed into the mountains and streams of Appalachia. Most people picture deer or bears when they think of forest life, but in some spots, salamanders actually outweigh every other animal combined. Scientists have measured it. They scoop up all the salamanders in a patch of woods, and their total weight beats that of the local deer, even the black bears. The real stars here are the lungless salamanders, a group that first evolved right in these hills. They do not have lungs at all. Instead, they breathe straight through their skin, slipping under rocks and logs, living in the damp shadows. It is a world record for diversity and for sheer numbers, hidden just underfoot in the leaf litter and moss. Every time you walk the trail. Only 3 mountaintops in the world are home to the Shenandoah salamander. That's it. 3 rocky peaks inside Shenandoah National Park, nowhere else. This tiny salamander has the smallest range of any land vertebrate in North America. If those peaks disappear, the species disappears. It is federally protected, but its entire future depends on a few ridges of loose stone and moss. The salamander spends its whole life hidden under rocks, away from the sun, clinging to cool, damp slopes. It faces pressure from warming temperatures, invasive species, and even trail erosion. Most people never see one. But the fate of an entire species hangs on just a sliver of the Appalachian landscape. That proves even in a place bursting with life, some wonders are always at risk. Half the trees in these mountains have close relatives in China, even though there is nothing like them in between. Magnolia, hickory, sassafras, and wild ginseng all grow here, and in the forests of East Asia, scientists traced their family trees and found a match stretching back millions of years. Long ago, a single forest belt wrapped around the northern hemisphere. Then the ice ages struck. Glaciers wiped out most of these ancient trees everywhere except two places, the Appalachian Mountains and certain valleys in China. That is why you can walk under a magnolia here and know there is a cousin growing on the other side of the world. The forests remember a time when continents were connected by green, and the survivors still stand in your backyard. The famous blue haze rolling over the Blue Ridge Mountains isn't a trick of the light or distant smoke. It's the forest itself, breathing out a color you can see. Trees here, especially oaks and tulip poplars, release a gas called isoprene. On hot sunny days, millions of leaves pump isoprene into the air. When sunlight hits this gas, it reacts and forms tiny particles so small you can't see them, but just the right size to scatter blue wavelengths of sunlight. That's why the mountains look blue from miles away, especially in summer. This isn't pollution. It's a natural process happening every day. The haze is strongest when the forest is healthiest, a sign that the trees are working hard. Scientists have measured isoprene pouring off these ridges at some of the highest rates in North America. The blue you see is the forest's own signature, an invisible breath painting the sky right in your backyard. Nearly 4,000 kinds of fungi have been recorded in the Great Smoky Mountains alone, and scientists think that number could climb as high as 20,000. Every year, new species show up, sometimes in spots where hikers pass every day. Most of these fungi hide under leaves or inside rotting logs, out of sight until the right mix of rain and warmth brings them out. Some look like they belong in a science fiction movie. Bleeding tooth fungus oozes bright red drops, while dead man's fingers poke up from the ground, dark and knobby. Others have names like stalked puffball in aspic or resemble tiny coral reefs. Many of these mushrooms are found nowhere else on Earth, and some are still waiting for names. The next time you walk a muddy trail, there's a good chance you're stepping over a species that no one has ever studied before. The Appalachian forest floor is a hidden kingdom, still full of secrets. Southern Appalachia is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. Nearly 10,000 different species, plants, animals, fungi, and more live in these mountains. That number is not just high for the United States. It rivals the great temperate forests of central China, the only other place in the world with this kind of variety. No other temperate region even comes close. Every patch of forest here is alive with hidden life. The same slopes where you find more salamander species than anywhere else are also home to rare orchids, ancient ferns, and thousands of insects. New species are discovered every year, sometimes just a few steps off the trail. Scientists have counted over 1,400 types of flowering plants, 500 mosses and ferns, and almost 4,000 kinds of fungi in the Smokies alone. Insects, spiders, snails, and millipedes add thousands more to the tally. This level of diversity happens because the mountains roll on for miles, with deep valleys, high ridges, and every kind of climate in between. Glaciers never scraped these hills flat, so species survived here while they vanished elsewhere. Today, these forests are a global hotspot for life, matched only by a few places on the planet, all of it right in your backyard. Across all 10 facts, one pattern stands out. Appalachian forests are a living vault of global biodiversity and natural wonders, unmatched anywhere else in North America. Their secrets aren't just rare, they're happening right now in plain sight. These woods aren't ordinary, they're extraordinary, and they're yours.